Hello world, and welcome to the Mecca of Mastery TV. I am your host Mecca. If it is your mission to become the greatest version of yourself in every area of life, then you're in the right place. In this episode we are speaking about spiritual and personal development. And the topic of this video is how to love yourself. Let's get straight into the video. Yeah, I was at a place in my life where I've done so many things to myself and damage to myself, and I didn't love myself, and I realized that I was not fully living, and I was feeling pain and sorrow and grief and blockages in my life, and I just didn't have any feeling of gratitude, of evolvement in my life, because I didn't love myself. As simple as that. I didn't love myself. And I realized when I got to a place in my life where I hit rock bottom. I hit rock bottom really bad. I started to lose everything. I started to lose people. I couldn't get a grip on life. I was physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally sick. I couldn't go to work. I couldn't pay the bills. I couldn't do nothing. And I fell out. Everything just fell out of place. And at that time in my life, that's when I began to look deep within myself and start to find myself. So you might be at a place in your life right now where you feel like all hell is breaking loose. And you think that's crazy. Like, why is life doing this to me? I realize that's the best place to be at. Because you start to see that where you are in your life, if what you've been doing is what you should have been. And really what you have been doing, right? You know it ain't the right thing you're doing if you're feeling bad, or if you're feeling sorrow, if you're feeling pain and the struggle from life every day. Life is supposed to be freedom, happiness, gratitude, fulfillment, joy, exhilaration. That's how life is supposed to feel. You're supposed to feel like that high, euphoric level most of the time, 99.9% of the time. And self-love, right? Most people think self-love comes just in the act of doing things for yourself. It's not always like that. When you cheat, okay, sometimes you think that you're doing something to the other person, but really you're cheating yourself because you're dividing your energy. When you don't love yourself, you're giving so much of yourself to other people before you give to yourself first. People don't love themselves because they don't have beliefs in themselves, because they don't like themselves, because they don't want to face those parts of themselves that needs healing. I had to look at myself and realize the reason why I was doing things to myself is because I didn't like myself. I didn't want to admit that I was an alcoholic. I didn't want to admit that I was an addict in certain areas. I didn't want to admit that I was trifling and nasty in certain areas, and I didn't have courage, or I didn't have belief that I was going to keep crawling on the ground for dollars. I didn't want to, believe that that's all I believed about myself. So guess what I did? I never challenged or went and gave to myself, because I didn't believe in myself. And that's what we do, because we was never taught to believe in ourselves. We were brought up, especially if you brought up in a normal system, you have to raise your hand to go to the bathroom. You have to raise your hand to answer and ask a question. That's the system that we were raised in. Basically, self-love, right, is when you give to yourself first before others. This does not mean that you take away the love you have from others, because really giving to others is giving to ourselves. And that might sound very contradicting, right? But let me break it down for you. I get up every morning, right? Before I go out into the world, before I go and I'll kiss my boyfriend first. He gets me first. Before I go and do anything, before I call a friend, before I do anything, I center myself. I go and sit down, I meditate for 20 minutes, I light my sage, I clear out that negative energy, I light my incense, okay? I write in my journal, I write my goals down, I turn my music on that's healing, I hit my Tibetan bowl, I do learn some Spanish for about 10 to 15 minutes, practice my Spanish, and I read for about 10 to 15 minutes. That takes me about an hour. I get me together first. Because until I get me together, I can't give you what I don't have. And the thing is, we don't love ourselves, and we're not fulfilled because we are giving things to people in which we don't even have ourselves. Your cup ain't even overflowing. You got a cup of water, but you thirsty, and you went and gave the water to somebody else. And that is compassionate to do that. But just like when you're in the airplane They say put the air mask over yourself before putting on others first, because you can't help somebody unless you help yourself first. And this is not a selfish thing. It's not selfless. That's selfless. You know, that is given to yourself. That is really helping somebody when you can help yourself. Because guess what? I don't want nobody to have to come to me. I want people to be able to depend on me. That means I need to come here and put more into my bank. You are a bank. You have to look at yourself like a bank, right? Emotional bank, physical bank, right? Food bank, money bank. You're giving money that you ain't got for yourself. So self-love is really being compassionate to yourself, joy to yourself. You walk around telling everybody else how good they look. You see the girl walking down the street or the man walking down the street, nice shoes. You never say that to yourself. Oh, these shoes look nice today, Mecca. Okay. You get what I'm saying? You never do that to yourself. When are you going to give a compliment to yourself? When are you going to look in the mirror and say, I look beautiful today? You see people and you say, you look so gorgeous today. Why don't you do that for yourself? You see, from a psychological point of view, right, how that really alters our brain and make us feel less about ourselves, because we don't give to ourselves as much as we give to other people. So self-love is to start doing things for yourself, by yourself, that feeds you, that give you joy, that make your cup overflow and overfill. So then, this is water, okay? And that glass of water can be anything in it. You can say that's money in your life, say that's emotion, you know, that's time. If you don't have enough time for yourself, okay, if your glass right now is like this and it's half full, and you know you need this much time for yourself, you probably got a little bit to spare. But what you want to do is fill that glass up for time for yourself. Then when it overflow, you can go and give it to people. You'll feel fulfilled, and you feel loving yourself because you didn't give to yourself. You don't feel like you love yourself because there's nothing fulfilling within you. You don't feel nurtured because you're not giving. You're not fulfilling. You're not giving that joy. You're not feeding yourself. It's a difference between doing something, right? Putting on some lipstick, going out. That's not always loving yourself. It's a difference between eating and nurturing. You can go and eat a sandwich, okay? Or you can go and eat a meal, but did it nurture you? Did it feed you? Did it go into the cells and heal those cells in your body and cleanse your blood? Or did it just, you know, have trans fats and bad stuff in it, and it just made you feel worse? That's loving yourself. When I realized I was at this place in my life and I began to love myself, I started to do certain things, and these are the strategies and tools I use. First of all, I started to meditate. You always hear me talk about meditation. That's the foundation of my life. I've been meditating for about 5 or 6 years now, and I swear to God, I owe my whole life to meditation. I can be feeling anyway. I can be feeling like I want to kill somebody. Give me 20 minutes, I'll be like, everybody, I love everybody now. It's so powerful. Meditation. I've started to do yoga. I love yoga. It's a practice of moving your body. Our minds and our bodies are connected. But when you're moving your body and you're in that painful state, because it's painful and it's a challenge, and you get deeper into it, but you can stay calm, that's powerful. That's powerful. Journaling. When I write down my thoughts and get it out, some things I'm afraid to say to other people, but when I say it on paper and I read it and I get it out of me, let it out of me, I'm releasing it. That's self-love. When you go and take a walk into nature and you be by yourself and you think and you cry and you feel and you breathe and you look at the birds and you look at the squirrels, you look at the trees, that's self-love. When you say you told somebody, look, I'm coming to the party, but you know your body is beat down from all that you've been doing throughout the week, and your body is telling you to rest. So you say instead, I know I said I'm gonna come to the party, but honestly my body is not feeling it, and I would rather come to your party with full of energy so I can give all of myself to you. I'm gonna stay home, I'm gonna miss out on this one, but I'm gonna send my energy and my love my way to the party, and you stay home instead, and you put a nice bubble bath, honey, with some Epsom salt in there, and you fill your bath around with some candles, and you put on some music, some Sabrina Claudio, and you have your nice glass of wine or your tea, and you put your facial on, and you put those lights off, and you go and do that, and then you go and take a nice beauty rest. That is self-love. When you go and you nurture yourself first. Nurture yourself before you go out and give yourself to anything. Of course, there's going to be times in your life where you got to go and do things before because it just requires us so you can keep things going. You might not feel like going to work, but honey, if you want that bill to be paid, for you to go back in your home, that's a sanctuary, you got to go to work. But you know that it's when that time comes for you to give yourself that extra 10-20 minutes for you just to sit and be at peace with yourself, you need to nurture yourself. You don't go give to everybody else. When you start to be real with people about how you really feel and what's really going on, that's loving yourself. And the reason why people are raining on your parade, or life is raining on your parade, or you feel like you're not getting ahead, and if things is all over the place, it's because you're not being real with yourself and not being real to people. So be real with yourself first. Nurture yourself. That's how you love yourself. Start doing things for yourself. Take that trip by yourself. Go and read that book. You ain't got to show up. You ain't got to be here. Go and take dinner to yourself. Give yourself a compliment. Tell yourself you're beautiful. Go and put the money in your bank for yourself. Go and show up. Go and enroll into something. Do it for yourself. Listen to yourself. That's self-love. I love you. You need to love you. Say it. Say it. Say you love you. Say it right now. Let's say it together. I love myself. I love myself. I love you, Mecca. Say it. Say your name. I love you. I'm beautiful. I'm whole. I'm prosperous. Come on. Say it. Repeat after me. I'm beautiful. I am whole. I am prosperous. I am making progress. I'm calm. I'm patient. I'm loving. I'm fearless. I'm abundant. I'm wealthy. I'm rich. I am whole. I love myself. I love myself. That's self-love. You deserve it. And we always say here at Mecca Mastery TV, we encourage you to become the greatest version of yourself in every area of life. So you go out into the world and you kick a whole lot of action. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do anything, because you can do whatever you put your mind to. If you need help and you don't know where to start on your journey to become the greatest version of yourself, I would love to be on your side. Side by side, we'll take that journey together, baby. Just email me at meccabookings@gmail.com or head over to meccafreeman.com. Until next time, I'll see you in the next episode. Sending my love, my gratitude, and my peace your way. Till next time, peace.